There is a reason that racial tension is rising in this country. It's by design. But race is not the only dividing line. The coronavirus lockdowns have nothing to do with race. Quarantines are instead scientific. They're purely a matter of public health. That's what they told us, and we believe them. We sat passively as they destroyed our country's economy, as they indicted Americans for trying to make a living. And then the Black Lives Matter riots started, and we learned that it was all fake. The very same officials who threatened us with arrest for going outside urged their own voters to flood the streets. And they did, and no one was punished. How could this happen? It was such a flagrant double standard, not even hidden, right in your face. They didn't try to explain it. They didn't bother to justify it. Why? Anyone familiar with totalitarian regimes can tell you exactly why and what's going on. This is ritual humiliation. Forcing people to accept mistreatment is a time-tested way to subdue them.
Today, we're seeing the third revolution. They tried for the second revolution back in the 60s and 70s. Today, they think they can make this happen. This is the outside. This is the violent part. On the inside, the Democratic Party is ready to take what is happening here and say, look, all Americans believe this. It's time to get rid of capitalism. It's time to force on you climate change. It's time to change your entire economic, political, and while we're at it, your religious structure and your free speech and your Bill of Rights and everything else. And that's what this is really about.
We can't save the world by playing by the rules, because the rules have to be changed. Everything needs to change.
They'll come discipline all the people that don't need it, like people that are trying to go to work or do real stuff. I've already seen the narrative. I already know who they're targeting. They're not targeting the rioters. They're targeting anyone that's complaining about the rioters or not going to obey their edicts when they decide that they're going to wear their mask again or whatever the hell their new next game is, COVID-20.
While a majority of these protests and protesters were peaceful, some may be using this situation to their advantage, sparking violence. This morning, we are learning more about some arrests and possible coordination of attacks.
Your leftists in the United States, all these professors and all these beautiful civil rights defenders, they are instrumental in the process of the subversion only to destabilize the nation. When their job is completed, they are not needed anymore.
Who's who? Thousands on the streets, most want to be heard. Others only want to wreak havoc, smashing windows, looting, starting fires. And police say many of these aren't random, but well-organized acts. More than 5,000 people have been arrested in the past week of protests. Authorities say in some cases, these small groups attack police officers while standing behind peaceful protesters, using them as human shields. The destructive action seen across the country discredit the calls for justice in the wake of the killing of George Floyd.
This is about empowerment. This is about movement. This is about Black lives.
What is happening now has very little to do with George Floyd or people like him. Like all revolutions, the point is to destroy the current system and replace it with something new.
I'm impressed, man. That's a good operation that someone is running there to give the police more power, and that's pretty good. I mean, like, you've been to all the rioters, you've been effectively programmed as biological androids with no sense and no brain of your own to be little programmable remote control humans that anytime the TV or social media tells you burn down the target, you go and do it. Congratulations, you're accomplishing the bidding of those people you say you hate.
The psychological shock when they will see in future what the beautiful society of equality and social justice means in practice, obviously they will revolt. They will be very unhappy, frustrated people. And the Marxist-Leninist regime does not tolerate these people.
When the new PlayStation game COVID-20 comes out, you'll see how the powers of all the stuff that they've gathered will be used to crack down on all decent people. But then when the people start burning shit down, then they'll just, pull back. It's like a psychotic operation straight from hell.
When a military boot crashes then he will understand, but not before that. That's the tragedy of the situation of demoralization.
And once you have turned over to these agencies of international power control over your armies and over your air force and over your weapons of mass destruction, you have created a global government which is cannot be challenged by any nation whatsoever.
Why is it that having these alternate views are so threatening to these people that they need to not only argue with you, but also destroy you? What's that about?
This is about taking away our freedom of speech. This is about promoting one ideology only and pushing some kind of totalitarian narrative. And I really do think there is a lot of danger in this entire agenda.
Change is coming whether you like it or not.
All you have to do is follow the policy, and if you follow it, you won't run into trouble with anybody. You don't follow it, there's going to be trouble. This is the nature of technocracy and scientific dictatorship.